was 3 is this Saturday, right? September 17th. Is that Saturday?
Yes. So we're basically going to focus on 3 fights here. And Ted, what are those 3 fights?
Right. This is September 17th, Hidalgo, Texas. I know Texas is a very big state, so I don't know where Hidalgo is. I only know Dallas and Austin and Houston, but Hidalgo, that's where it is. UFC Fight Night 94. So yeah, the main event is Dustin Poirier versus Michael Johnson.
The Diamond.
The Diamond. And then you have Uriah Hall versus Derek Brunson in a middleweight bout. And then number 3 on the card, from going from top to bottom, Evan Dunham versus Rick Glenn. So those are the 3 fights.
And that Rick Glenn one is not part, like, we're not going in a row. That's just a fighter that you'd probably be more familiar with. I think he's ranked number 15th in that division.
But yeah, I mean, Poirier versus Johnson, we're looking at that's a lightweight bout, and both of these guys I believe are on win streaks if I'm not mistaken. I mean, Poirier, since moving from featherweight to lightweight, has done fantastic.
Since his loss to Conor McGregor when his pea head got bounced off the mat, like Conor said.
His pea head. Listen to you. Poirier's looked fantastic. Johnson is a very talented fighter out of the Black Zillions camp in Florida. He was on The Ultimate Fighter too. I don't know. Did he win the whole thing?
Who?
Michael Johnson?
I'm not sure.
He may have. If he didn't, he was close to winning. Recently I came across an Instagram that another guy who trains at that same camp, a guy named Kamaru Usman, who also was on The Ultimate Fighter, he and Johnson were fighting, and it actually got, I don't know if they got angry at each other or whatever, but they were throwing down. I mean, they were throwing down pretty hard, which I don't know. I've seen footage of Anthony Johnson and Tyrone Spong at Black Zillions, so I think that's kind of par for the course at the Black Zillions. They go for broke there. But anyway, with Poirier versus Johnson, Poirier, both these guys are heavy-handed hitters, but Johnson might have the edge in speed. Poirier might have the edge as far as his precision. So what wins? Or I don't know. Poirier, they both have knockout power. You know what I mean?
I think you're 100% right. Don't underestimate the Diamond's speed as well, though. Especially his counter. I mean, that last fight, the last 2 fights actually that MJ had, he didn't do too well in. That was a fight Nate Diaz, and the fight before that, who was his fight before Nate Diaz? I know he lost that fight as well.
I can't remember, but so that's true. He has been a bit inconsistent. Yeah.
But, however, before those 2 fights, he was on an absolute tear, like you were saying. Dustin has been on a tear as well since losing to Conor McGregor, moving up a weight class. I think this weight class is a lot better for him. The weight cut isn't as hard. I think that he's improved where he needed to improve, and right now we might see Dustin at the top of his game. And I asked everyone on Twitter, Ted, this question, and everyone came back going for Dustin to win this fight. Not many MJ fans out there.
I guess not. Wow. And Pat is picking the Diamond as well. Jody, looks like Brooklyn. Well, Brooklyn said damn. I don't know if he means diamond. He just kind of shortened it. Because Jody said diamond, and then Brooklyn said damn, and then Pat said diamond. So I don't know. Maybe
that's great.
Maybe Brooklyn meant diamond. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So, geez, it's a tough one. It's a tough pick.
I mean, MJ has a lot to lose here. If he loses this fight against MJ, and of course, Dustin the Diamond, his last 2 fights, Bobby Green, he was like, come on, let's throw down. And Dustin was like, yeah, okay. Dadoosh knocks him out. And then the fight.
You want it, you got it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, all right, fine. You swayed me. I'm going with Poirier.
And the fight before that, man, he was going up against the Iris, Joe Duffy, the one guy who beat Conor McGregor by rear naked choke before Nate did. And whooped his ass too. I mean, I think it was a five round fight that went to decision. No. Dustin won in 3 rounds, I think it was, because it was on Fight Pass.
Whoop.
Drop my
There
mic.
with the mic.
This thing's huge. You don't want to be dropping this thing anywhere either.
Holy crap! That's like a barbell.
The size of my head almost.
Yeah, that's your defense right there. If somebody breaks in, you just beat them with that.
Oh no, I got a bat. There's a bat in every room.
Oh, all right.
Remember I told you, bro. Remember I told you that somebody was stalking my girlfriend, and we were getting nervous about it, and they were driving up and down my road, following her around.
I don't know. Maybe you did tell me that.
We talked about this at like episode 6, maybe, I want to say.
Okay.
When the Eddie Mercado was on from Bloody Elbow.
Oh, right.
Remember
So you got a bat in every room, absolutely.
Yep. And then we got guardian rats just in case. Bite them.
Yeah. They're rabid.
Oh my God, Ted! Before we even move any further, I gotta let all of our listeners know a little update on the rats.
All right.
Andrea's friend Hannah, and if you guys follow me on Snapchat, and I know a lot of you guys do, her friend Hannah, who has all the dreadlocks that you see in all the photos, had me and Andrea watch her pet rats. And one of them had babies while we were watching them over the weekend. 12 babies at 4 o'clock in the morning, bro. And didn't come pick them up until today. So we had them from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
How do you fit that many babies inside?
So we had our 7 rats, right? And then her 4 guy rats, her 3 female rats, and then the mama rat that had 12 rats. So that's how many rats were up here in my apartment.
Eddie, do you only have friends who have rats? Is that like a prerequisite? Like, if you're going to be friends with Eddie and Andrea, you have to have rats. Is that the thing?
Andrea talks to a lot of people online. She has like part of this group on Facebook. Rats are awesome or something like that. But
rat lovers.
No, but this is her friend that got her into rats. That we babysat her rats originally, and then my girlfriend had to have a rat. It began with one, and now we have 8. And the newest one that we got, Ruby, we call her Ruby because she has red eyes.
Okay.
She's actually pretty cool. We're training her on the couch like we did with our first one. She's potty trained, lives on the couch, and cuddles between our legs. Like if I walk out there right now, you'll see her laying with Andrea right now.
Aw, that's cute.
And she's all about her daddy, which is me. That's as far as I want to go with kids right now, right?
No, that's fine. You know, you work your way up, you know? I mean, like, yeah, my wife and I, we started off, we had cats, you know? Then you go to kids. Then we got a dog after that. Now my younger son's asking for a hedgehog.
Oh, really? Those are actually pretty cool pets.
Yeah, let me guess. He's going to name it Sonic, right?
I hope so.
Probably.
Yeah, I just wanted to let all of our listeners know because we like to get personal with our shows, and I know we've talked about it so many times in the past. It was just a crazy weekend. Everyone's always talking about Eddie and his rats, so I had to bring it up.
No, go for it, man.
12 rats, though, Ted. 12 rats at 4 a.m. I got home from the casino that morning, too, at like 1 a.m. I went to the casino with my family. A bunch of the Pure Evil family joined me on my Periscope Live. So, any new listeners out there, we went to Mohegan Sun out here in Connecticut.
Sun, okay.
My dad's part of like the VIP there, so we get like all this.
Sun.
Yeah, we get all these like special offers and stuff, free tickets, VIP lounge, and
because your dad drops big bucks there.
Yeah. So yeah, I have the page up right now, live on Periscope. You guys can follow me at EVil_Echo. That's EVIL_ECCO. That is set up so you guys see what goes on in the day, in a life of an MMA correspondent here at the Pure Evil MMA Studios. Follow me and Angie around on our daily, day-to-day basis. So definitely check it out. Not only that, make sure you follow me and Ted on Twitter and YouTube. I'm at EVil_Echo, same thing, or Pure Evil MMA, and find Ted at Ted Czech. That's TEDCZECH. That's not CHECH. That's CZECH. All right, back to topic number 3.
Right. So next down on the card, the co-main event is Uriah Hall versus Derek Brunson. 2 guys in the middleweight division who, they're tough dudes. They've been around for a little while. They've had their losses. They've had their wins. There's been a lot of there's some bad blood between these 2 guys. Okay, I've been following it a little bit. Derek Brunson several months ago accused Hall on Twitter of juicing.
Really?
He urged USADA. He said, please come and test us because old Uriah over here, you got to take the urine of Uriah because you might find something. So Hall got upset at him over that. And then I read something recently that Hall said about, I've got nothing to worry about with this guy. I'm not, it sounds like he's underestimating him. He said, I'm not concerned with him because he's an idiot. Well, just because you think the guy's an idiot doesn't mean he's not a skilled fighter and can kick your ass.
Yeah.
So I think Hall's underestimating Brunson, and so I look for Brunson. Even if he didn't underestimate him, I would still pick Brunson. I just think he's the more complete fighter. Hall's got the spinning shit, but he's fast. But he oftentimes he's gun shy. He doesn't want to pull the trigger.
That's what I was about to say. Yep.
Oh, sorry, man.
No. Don't.
Yeah, he's gun shy. Doesn't want to pull the trigger. He doesn't have he doesn't have it on the ground the way that Brunson does. Brunson's just is a far more complete fighter. And is probably every bit as fast as Hall. So I see Brunson definitely coming away with the win, at least by unanimous decision.
Uriah Hall really has to use his footwork here. Brunson is a powerhouse when it comes to Uriah Hall. Uriah Hall, like you said, is very unpredictable, but his unpredictability has been becoming predictable. Not only that, he's been shy, like you've been saying. We're talking about one of the guys who had one of the most crazy knockouts on Ultimate Fighter with that spinning heel kick.
Right.
And he's done it before with I think the Gegard Mousasi fight not too long ago. That was a crazy KO. Yeah,
destroyed him.
He needs to use his footwork here. He needs to use his Anderson Silva traits. You know what I mean? One more thing I got to say about Uriah Hall is that he's an exciting fighter to watch as well. I mean, he talks about it all the time when he was growing up watching Mortal Kombat and trying to do just crazy things in the octagon. He really needs to pull the trigger here to make this win, though.
Brooklyn Elite is saying Uriah got busted, didn't he? I don't remember that. I can't remember that he did.
I don't think so.
I just remember Brunson, making that allegation, but I don't know that Uriah is ever pissed hot. But yeah, Uriah Hall during the Ultimate Fighter was the guy that Dana White was talking about. Remember, he was talking about this mythical tough beast. He wouldn't name the guy. This was before the season started. He says, because they filmed it ahead of time. He says, there's a guy that put 4 other guys in the hospital, the tough beast, and nobody knew who it was. But then, once Hall started on that run, then they figured out, oh, okay, yeah, it's him. So to go from such a promising start to where he is now, very, very hit or miss. It's kind of mystifying. I don't know what's going on.
Not only that, Ted, Uriah Hall, honestly, if he had that fight against Anderson Silva and won, would have put him in one of the top names in the UFC right now if he had that win.
Oh, yeah. Weren't they supposed to fight?
They were supposed to fight at UFC 200, I'm pretty sure.
In Brazil. No, wait. 200 wasn't in Brazil. I thought they were supposed to fight in Brazil.
I think you're right. It was the Brazil card, UFC 201. Or no, UFC 199. 199.
Yeah, they were supposed to fight. Mm-hmm. Oh, sure. I mean, yeah, to put a feather in your cap like that, to beat, if you were able to beat Anderson Silva, the former champion, and all that. I mean, yeah, that would definitely move him up the ladder for sure.
And speaking of tough, Ted, before we move on, I got to speak with Philip Nover, who's one of the tough alumni, this Sunday night. The RN, the nurse, the Philip Nover.
Nice,
we talked about it on one of our episodes that we did together. You were trying to think of his name. I actually got to talk to him. He's going to be fighting Hedin Barao September 24th. And he's on the same card, Chris Cyborg, down in Brasilia, Brazil. Hedin Barao in the co-main event. So I got to talk with Philip Nover and Paul Felder. So I'm excited for that card. That's next week. So make sure you guys also subscribe on Ted's channel. I'm EVil Eddie from Pure Evil MMA. We're out, guys.